Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for this episode 33 of the Own the Map Challenge here on Monteith with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, as you can see, we have moved into spring. It is March 1st here on the farm, and I am just busy scanning our newly acquired field. Field number 4, the last field we needed to buy here on the map. Now, I did have to take out a $1.5 million mortgage in order to buy this piece of property, but you know what? I'm pretty darn happy with that because it was worth over $2.5 million. So we were able to put over $1 million towards it. So pretty pleased about that, actually. We can't truly say we've completed the challenge with us owing that much to the bank, so we need to get that paid off before we can say we've successfully completed this. But I don't think that will take us too long, actually. And you know what? As soon as we're down in this corner, just give me a second here. I'm going to put this away. We'll put a pin in this job for just a minute. Because we'll, as soon as we're down here, we'll go and take a look at what Sam and Sara have been up to over the winter. Yes, so anyways, as I was saying, we have $551,000 right now in our bank account, and we have $1.6 million worth of soybeans to sell in our silo. So we are halfway home. So I think once we get the crops harvested and get them sold, well, it would actually be technically a year from now, I think we'll be able to say we have completed the challenge. Now you can see there is now a gravel track here. Now we didn't make a proper road out of it. We just had some gravel hauled down and we just simply put it over top of the track that the contractors are making here. So it'll probably get pounded into the prairies pretty quick and we'll have to put some more down, but that's fine. Now I did end up putting in a culvert rather than a bridge up here. And it's one of those special magical culverts you can't actually see. But I thought probably would have been a better fit to build this up and put a culvert in than try and put a bridge across. So although you can't see a culvert, yeah, there is one there, trust me. And here is Sam and Sara's place. Oops, I see I missed a little spot of landscaping there. I'll have to tidy that up a little bit. But other than that, most of their landscaping is done, but their grass hasn't been put back in yet, obviously too early in the year for that. So Sam's got himself a really nice workshop down here. And if we peek in here, you can see the old 4030 is sitting down here with its implements. He's going to use that as a yard tractor. And then of course, a really nice house they built themselves here. And I do like that view. That is a nice view out across the map there. And it'll get even better later this summer. They're planning on putting in the pen for their horses. I think somewhere along the fence line down there near the creek bottom, I think, is what they're planning on doing. But yeah, as always, subject to change. Now, we can't plant our corn or soybean yet this month, but we can seed the field that Sam and Sara want to have oats in. So they've got oats for their horses. So we are going to do that this month here. Once I get this field scanned, because then we can get to work on finishing the prep, we can put lime down. Oh, and we were going to put some manure down on there too, weren't we? Yes, so we can put some lime and manure on that field. So I'll go ahead, I will get that scanned, and I will bring you back in when we are ready to seed Sam and Sarah's field. So I'll meet you back at the shop in just a little bit. Welcome back. It is the afternoon of the same day. I just went ahead and finished prepping field 4, including putting a layer of manure on, and I ended up combining 3 and 4 together. If we look at the map, there was just a tiny strip between the two, so I thought, you know what, there's no sense farming around that. We'll just put it together. So that's why we're coming in a little bit later in the day. Now, you can see behind me, this is our new seeder, John Deere, as you might expect. But we did need a seeder to put in Sam's oat field. Well, you obviously can't use our planter for that. So let's go ahead and jump in. I actually have it all full of seeds already. So we will take off and we'll go get this oat field in. Now, I did check out the lime situation, or lime spreading to be exact. I am recording this after the release of patch 1.19, and I was hoping that kind of block fill situation might have been fixed. And it's still occurring on this map. So, because I was kind of hoping that we could do a lime spreading cinematic, but that's not going to happen. I know it was a slim hope, but I think it was 1.18 that caused it. I was hoping 1.19 would fix it. But like I said previously, it just seems to be an issue on this map. So it is what it is. Now, this little area off to our right, I think we are just going to use that as a staging area. I'm going to try and take that fence out. So we'll use it to as an area for offloading the harvesters or parking the uh, spray trailer, that sort of thing. Now, I wonder if we'll see, well, I think the pillar, well, the tractor or the mirror there is in the way, but Sam's place is just off to the right there. Yeah, there's too many trees. I don't think, oh, we just got a glimpse of it there. But that's where we're at, just to orientate you. And this is the little field here back in the bush that we're going to use to put oats in for him. All right, this field right in front of us. So you know what? I think I'm going to take care of this with a cinematic. I know that may surprise a few of you, but sit back and enjoy the tunes. Well, there we go. That job is done. I hope you enjoyed that cinematic. That moved along fairly quickly, I must say. Didn't take long for this unit to finish that up at all. Now I do need to roll this field. You know what? Maybe we'll do that together because that's the last thing we have to do here this month on the farm other than feed the cattle here. And then we'll move ahead to next month when we can start planting. So that's what I think we'll do. And that'll give us an opportunity to dig one of the big dogs out of the shed. I actually stored all the big tractors in the cold storage shed across the road, so it gave room in the heated shop to do things through the winter. So let me get that organized, and I'll meet you back here at the field with one of the big guys, and we'll put it to work. So I'll catch up with you in just a minute. Well, we made it back to the field with the roller. We are actually in the newest of the two 9Rs. I don't think anybody but Sam has driven this one. He pretty much laid claim to it when it arrived on the farm, and no one else was able to get into it. But we managed to sneak it away because he's not helping us with us right now. We're just doing this on our own. I don't mind doing these odd jobs and giving the rest of the family a bit of a break. Well, they can have it, because when well, it's not so bad with seeding actually, and I think Sam and I'll pretty much handle the planting, I guess I should say. Maybe get Bill or Harold to come and do a little rolling for us, but basically 3 people can handle that job pretty handily. Now I'm using steering assist for this, just so I don't get hung up on the trees. Although it's a fairly wide berth here, even I think I could manage to do this without getting hung up. Suffering with a bit of a head cold these days, so it makes recording a challenge. I have an issue with a chronic cough anyways, but this additional coughing just not all that handy. Now after we get this done, I think that's where I'll leave you, and I'll bring you back in and finish this episode off with the planting. And we've got every field on the map to plant this time, save, of course, this one we're doing right now. And I'm going to change, we're going to have a little, what will it be? Corn on corn, I guess. Just to kind of organize the fields so they make more sense location-wise. So it'll be one field that will be duplicated up. And I think, yeah, it means there'll be a field of soybean on soybean too, I think. Just makes it handier if like all the cornfields are together and you don't have to transport the corn equipment from one side of the map to the other. Same with the soybean. So we're just kind of clump one side of the map will be corn and one side will be soybean. We don't have any kind of mod in here that penalizes us for crop rotation in any event. I think, yes, we're going to have to take control here at this point. Now, I'm not planning on any new equipment purchases, other than I was thinking I might buy a duplicate rock picker like we did with the baler, So we've got the 2 tractors to run it now. That would be helpful, especially if we have a lot of corn in, because all those fields need to be plowed. But for as far as plowing and cultivators and that, really don't seem to have any issue keeping up. Especially like last fall where we got hardly any rain at all. We were done really early. And truth be told, I think after next harvest, it's not going to matter anyways. I think we'll be debt free. But we'll still likely be working on prepping fields while harvest is going on. That's just kind of the way we do things around here. On the off chance that we don't have enough money after harvest to pay everything off. And actually, you know what? Now that I sit and think about that a little bit, if we're going to continue to carry on and run the farm, we won't. We'll have to plant one more time because we won't be able to get out of debt. I don't think until we sell the soybeans, and that won't be till after next planting season. We'll zoom in here a little ways, just so you can hear the tractor working. A little overlap won't kill us because I didn't grab a line here. I'm just I like to call it freehand, old school. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be overlapping a lot, but that's okay. A little bit of a slope you can see to this field here. Although I can tell you from trying to do cinematics, there aren't many fields that are flat. They may look flat, but they're so large and the slopes are reasonably gentle that you don't notice them. But when you're trying to take cinematics and you're in flight mode, you certainly notice it. Down towards the river, they're a little bit flatter. And actually, field 3 that we combined with field 4, you've seen a lot of cinematics on that field for just that reason, because it's one of the flattest ones, so it makes it easy. I've said before, these fields that are these rolling hills can make some interesting shots when you're making the cinematic, but they can be tricky to do because of the elevation change if you don't want that. But there we go. I think there's just this one little spot I missed right here. And, oh, is there a spot back there? Or is that just the way? Nope, that's a spot missed. Right there. Gotcha. No, I don't think those were. All right, I think we are done. Well, I think I'll leave you there. And like I said, we'll bring you back in and we'll finish off this episode with some planting. So we'll catch up with you next month. See you then. Welcome back to the farm, everyone. We have moved into April and it is go time for planting here on the farm. Now I have almost everything set up. There's just one last thing we need to take care of. But before we do that, let's just go over our crop plan. So field 15 and field 3, 4, and field 2. So this one, and these two that are combined, those are all going to be our cornfields. Everything else is going to be soybeans, and then that will flip. And again, that was just to make it easy for harvesting primarily, but also makes it a little easier for planting too, to have the fields kind of all grouped together. Now, the last thing I'll point out is you can see we're at 447,000. That is down 100,000 from where I left you. And that's because of all the inputs that were required to get the planting done. So seed and fertilizer and the like. And as you'll see, our tender trailer, it's not just the seed, it's our seed tender and fertilizer tender, spray tender, is set up and it's all equipped. Now, should be close to having enough supplies. Might need a little extra materials for fertilizer. The last thing we want here is we're going to grab the fuel tender because we will probably need fuel. Oh, that was horrible. But it's early morning here in real life, and I haven't finished my first coffee, so we'll just let that slide. All right, I think we can go. Ooh, I gotta adjust my power seat here a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. So as usual, we're starting out with corn. So we're set up down here by the farmer's market. And we're going to start on the big 3-4 field. The one we're driving by right now. Now, Sam's down here already. He's going to kind of man the tender. We'll probably swap out with the seeding or planting as well. Once we get a field or two ahead, then I'm not sure if Bill or Harold who's going to come, but someone's going to come and do the rolling. But we don't need a lot of hands on deck for this operation. It's harvest time when we really have the manpower crunch. Okay, I think actually we shall park over here on the other side of the tender. Should be good. You can see it's all got our soluble fertilizer there, full of water, extra seeds. Should be good. Definitely we'll have enough seeds to get the corn in, that's for sure. Might run out of fertilizer, although, you know, theoretically shouldn't be as hard on fertilizer this year because, of course, we put some manure down on the field, so that'll hopefully help us in that regard. But let's get swung out on the field here, and we will take care of this in a cinematic, or the start of this. This is going to take a little while to see this field, but sit back and enjoy the tunes. Well, I hope you enjoyed that cinematic. Now, I have to say, I did have some issues with frame rate making that cinematic. I'm not sure why, because my system was nowhere near being stressed the way I have things set up now. So I really don't have an explanation for it. And it just so happened that I was in the process of editing the previous Monteith episode uh, just after I made this cinematic, and I didn't notice it occurring in that one. So if the cinematic gets cut a little short, or if you notice some clips that have some frame rate stutters, I apologize for that. I'll try and get it sorted, but I really don't know what it is, unless maybe it's this planter, because Farmer Mike and I did have issues with this planter causing frame rate issues on Arkansas. That's why we didn't use it. But on previous episodes on here, I wasn't having any issue with it. So, like they say, it is what it is. We are getting towards the end here on Monteith anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think we only have one more planting season potentially to go after this one, that is. Now, let's get this opened up. We need to get this turned around here and get on to the next field. But I'm going to have to do that off camera. Well, the planting, that is. Because, oops, that pipe was a little low. I scratched my tractor. Don't remember that happening before, but yeah, we are out of time here for this episode. So I have 2 more cornfields to do and then the soybeans. And in real life, it took about an hour to do that field. So that's not too bad, because it is, if it's not our biggest field, is pretty much equal in size to our biggest field. So I don't think that's too bad at all. It's not going to take too long to get this planting done. And actually the soybean, I think, goes a little bit faster because I don't have to drag the fertilizer around. But I am going to have to leave you there because we are out of time for this episode. So I am going to get the rest of the planting done, and I think I'll bring you in after the soybean sale, because we can take a kick at paying off some of the debt, and then at least that's where we'll start the episode. Then we'll probably jump into harvest from that point. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate watching. And if you haven't already, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode here on Monteith, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.